Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today I'll be showing you a very quick recipe. I know I like to make quick recipes, so for my birthday I wanted to eat this native rice that you can see here, and these are the ingredients that I use for this recipe. It's just normal, your basic rice that you eat at home, but with just a little bit of twist and turns to it. So these are some of the ingredients. I already parboiled my rice. As you can see, I've got salt, I have Cameroon pepper that I'll be using, some crayfish just to give you that local taste. I blended a mixture of pepper, ginger and garlic as per usual, with a little bit of tomatoes, some basil, some thyme, curry, 2 seasoning cubes, which is Maggi, Naija pot. I have my chopped tomatoes that I'll be using just to garnish the food, and you can see chopped peppers. I have my roasted fish and my roasted chicken, some palm oil. My pot has already been on the heat, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I do basically. So it's more like you're making jollof rice, but instead of using your regular jollof rice ingredients, like I said, it's just going to be some 1 or 2 few tweaks here that we're going to use to turn this rice into your local native rice. There are different methods that you can use for this rice. Some people actually prefer to use locust beans for this rice. Some people prefer to use other kinds of vegetables, but for this recipe I'll just be using my curry leaf and basil because I just want that like scent leaf kind of taste. So I'm just adding a little bit of palm oil, as you can see, not too much because I'm also going to add my groundnut oil, sunflower oil, sorry. But at this stage, you can just use palm oil if you want. It means that you probably have to bleach it for longer, or you can just use your groundnut oil if you want as well. But I like to use a mixture of both, just some palm oil and some groundnut oil, and then I don't actually bleach it for too long because I don't actually want it to be almost white or almost black. So I'm just adding just a little bit of my sunflower oil here, as you can see, and I'll let this to heat up for a little bit before I go in and add my onions and fry all the necessary things that need to be fried. So guys, this will heat for maybe about say 1 or 2 minutes, and then I'm just going to go ahead and add my onions. So as you can see now, it's not too bleached. This is actually the way I like it, not too bleached and then still not too palm oily. So my onions are just going to go in, and I'll allow this to fry until when I can actually like feel like the onions is burning, but it's changing the taste of the oil. Guys, I don't know how to explain it, but there's a way you fry your onions that that the aroma is actually coming out. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm going for here. So I'm just going to give this a quick stir to make sure that everything gets in there, and I'm going to go ahead and add my blended tomato, pepper, ginger and garlic and onion mix. So this is going to go in. Like I said, it's just the same way you cook your jollof rice, but instead of using your regular oils and stuff, you just use a little bit of palm oil, a little bit of groundnut oil, or a little bit of sunflower oil, olive oil, any oil. But for me, I feel like that palm oil really gives it that that different kick, that local taste. So I'm just mixing this and allowing this to cook for a little bit, and I'll go ahead and start to add all my seasoning. Now guys, for the seasoning, like I said, you can add whatever you want. The trick to native rice is more like concussion rice. It's just you're winging it, kind of. You're just adding everything in terms of spices that you love and things that you like. So you can add crayfish. You can choose not to add crayfish. You can use the blended crayfish, or you can choose to use the crayfish as it is, or you can use the jumbo prawns, whichever ingredients you have at home. But for me, I'm just going to add my roasted fish and roasted chicken to go in. I'm adding this at this stage because I want the chicken and fish to really take the taste of the food, because it's been dried properly, and I feel like because it's too dry, the taste has come out of the fish and the chicken. So I usually, if it's really dry, if I have dry chicken and dry fish, I usually like to put it in so it can soften up a bit, if that makes any sense. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt to taste, and also add my all-purpose seasoning powder, just a little bit, not too much. Like I said, I don't want to overpower the taste of this food. I want everything to have its right place in terms of seasoning. So a little bit of curry is going in, a little bit of thyme would also go in, as you can see, maybe just a pinch of thyme, and then I'll just keep on adding all the necessary seasoning that I think is necessary for this recipe. I'll add in some crayfish or my seasoning cube. As you can see, I went ahead and added an extra seasoning cube, guys, because I added the first one, but I felt like it wasn't really going to come out in terms of taste, so I added a second seasoning cube. So you can use 2 seasoning cubes if you want, depends on the quantity of rice that you're making for your family. And guys, let me let you know the secret. This recipe can also be used for yam and potatoes. So instead of rice, you can just switch and then just do everything the same way as I've showed you, but then you can just add your yam at the stage where I'm going to be adding the rice. So my Cameroon pepper is going in. Remember, we're a spicy family. We like our food to be a little bit extra hot. So it's very optional at this stage if you want to use Cameroon pepper. If you don't want to, you can just add maybe just a little, or you can reduce your number of chilies you're adding if you know that you want to use the Cameroon pepper. So I'm adding crayfish, guys. You can go all in with the crayfish because the crayfish is the real gist of this native rice. Like, crayfish is just what changes the whole taste to a whole nother level. Crayfish, guys, is the secret ingredient to this native rice. Like, once you add this crayfish, everything just changes. Like, the game just changes, guys. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. If you try this recipe at home and you're at this stage and you've added the crayfish, I would like you for you to taste the food before you add the crayfish and taste it after you've added the crayfish, guys. You would understand what I'm talking about. You would have that local taste. Now, remember I said you can use locust beans if you want. That's the Iru and Nogiri. And you can add that at this stage if you want, or you can add it at the early stage when I was frying the onions. So whichever one you can put it. You can even blend the iru with your pepper and tomato mix if you're not comfortable with seeing it inside the rice. It also changes the taste as well, but maybe just a little, not too much. So I'm going ahead to add my rice, and I'll just give this a good mix. I washed and parboiled the rice earlier on because I'm using a skillet, a frying pan kind of. I wasn't using a pot, so I wanted the rice to be a little bit almost ready, so I don't have to cook for too long, and everything will just go in and sit in more like a stir fry kind of. But I'm still going to add my water or my chicken stock or beef stock or whichever stock you have at home you can use at that stage. So I'm just giving this a good mix, and then I'll add in some water for everything to boil, and I'll come back, guys, and show you what it looks like after it has been properly cooked. Guys, this native rice is something that we usually eat in my house like once in a while, but when we do, it doesn't even last. Like, if I make this food in the morning, by evening it's gone. Like, there's no rice remaining by the next day, or for you to say, oh, let me just have a little. No, it's gone. Like, sometimes we can have this rice, make it today, next day we are still making the same rice, because my family, they really love this recipe. So let me know what you think. You can use any choice of protein for this recipe. So guys, this is what it looks like after it's been boiling for about, say, 10 minutes thereabout. Now, I wanted my rice to have a little bit of juice. I don't know if that makes any sense. I didn't want it to be too dry, so I'm just going to go ahead and add all my I don't know what to call it, condiments, yes, but this is just to give it a little bit of color and some kind of texture, not really for flavor per se, but more like to just for presentation. I think that's the word, to make it look really nice and stuff. So that's why the tomatoes, the onions, the chopped pepper is already going in, because remember, I already had added the fresh peppers when I blended that. So all this is just to give you that extra look, like that extra juice and stuff. So I'm just going to mix this in properly, and I'll allow this to boil for maybe 1 minute, and then go ahead and add my vegetables. Like I said, you can use whatever vegetables you want. You can use pumpkins, you can use the ugu, you can use spinach if that's what you have available. You can use any kind of vegetables really, and vegetables is what just changes it to that local rice and stuff. It gives it some sort of flavor as well. So you're just eating a different mix of different kinds of flavor in your mouth, if that makes any sense. So I'm just giving this a good mix. As you can see, there's still some juice left in the rice. It's not completely dry because I don't want it to be too dry. I don't want it to be too soft as well. So I just wanted to have some kind of local consistency, mama put kind of rice. For those of you that understand what mama put is. Mama put, for those who don't understand, is those people who have those local restaurants that you just go in and they're preparing the food and you're ordering it as it's hot coming out from the fire and you're eating to go, kind of. So guys, I'm just going to cover this just a little bit and allow my tomatoes and onions and all that to simmer with the rice, and it is ready. It will just be time for me to add my vegetables. So guys, this is the final product. This is what the rice looks like. It's ready, it's properly cooked. My vegetables will go in at this stage and I'll just mix that in to the rice. I already put off the fire, to be honest, because I didn't want the vegetables to cook or to overcook. I just wanted the vegetables to stay in as a garnish, and then so that they can retain their flavor and taste. And when you're eating the rice and you happen to chew on the curry leaves, I want you to actually smell the curry leaves while you're actually tasting the curry leaf as well. So I put off the heat at this point, and I'm just going to allow the heat from the food itself to soak in the flavor of the leaves. And guys, this is the final product. This is what it looks like. This is a very yummy, healthy, tasty, sweet, and I don't even know, like bottom pot kind of delicacy. This is what it looks like, and it's ready. Do let us know what you think about it. Leave a comment. I'm having mine with fried plantain. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate all the love. We appreciate all the support. And we really want to say thank you. Please don't forget to share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.